want me to press the start?
Okay, I'm recording right now. Okay. Well, class, aloha!
Aloha!
Welcome to class, and as you can see today, we are going to be talking about the art of making paper cranes. Gina, could you? Thank you. Our objectives today, our class objectives, these are what we're going to talk about and accomplish in these next 20 minutes. We're going to comprehend the cultural history and significance behind paper cranes. They're not just folded pieces of paper. They have a meaning behind them, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in preparation for each and every one of you to successfully be able to make a paper crane. And then, to wrap it all up, in closure, we're going to learn the connection that our BYU Hawaii Ohana has with making paper cranes and the legend of 1,000 paper cranes. So, I want to start off with this book. Has anyone ever seen this book or read this book? It's called Sudoku and 1,000 Paper Cranes. Anyone ever heard this story before? Well, let me tell you a story. It's a story about me. 4th grade, significantly shorter, no pudgier. And I was sitting there in my 4th grade class, and we had a unit about Japanese history, and my teacher had us read this book. I just want to give you a basic summary, and then talk about your personal experiences with a paper crane. Well, this story, it follows the girl. Her name is Sadako Sasaki. She was born in Hiroshima, Japan. And she, at a very young age, like 10, 11 years old, contracted leukemia from the effects of the atomic bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima. She was hospitalized, and in the hospital, one of her family members told her the legend of making 1,000 paper cranes. They said, if you make 1,000 paper cranes, you get a wish. Very similar to like our wishing well kind of ideology. So, for the rest of her life, she made paper cranes. And her one wish was to live. Grow up, to get married, to have children, to grow old. Unfortunately, she never got her wish. She died from complications from the leukemia she contracted from the radiation. But her legacy endures. Shishina, thank you. This is a statue of her at the Hiroshima Peace Memorial in Hiroshima, Japan. And she and her story have become an international icon for peace around the world. This little girl was a casualty of war. A casualty of war. And the Japanese government and governments from around the world honor her and her story and the connection with the paper crane as symbols of hope. So, before we move on about how to make paper cranes, I want to ask each of you, have any of you ever made a paper crane before in your life?
Yes.
Yes. Jinan, tell me about it. Tell me about your experience with making a paper crane.
I actually participated in that 1,000 paper crane thingy. I was actually in school at the time, so.
You were? Okay, we're going to save that story, but...
Yeah. So that was my only experience with that.
Wonderful. Okay, and that's wonderful. And that's something that I really want your help as we close up this lesson. Lulu, you say you've made paper cranes before?
Yeah, I'm in class with them, just as like a project.
Any interesting thing you learned about it that you liked?
This is interesting how you can fold a piece of paper into something that will explain, but it can be cool.
Exactly. So the paper crane it's part of a larger Japanese tradition of origami, of paper folding. And you're right. It's just the paper. It can be black, it could be blue, it could be any color, really any shape depending on the type of origami you want to make. And it's an art form, and they have meaning, and they even have competitions. So it's a very serious thing. But we're going today to the most simple, basic paper crane on the planet. As you see here, it's a little more complicated than the little examples I've provided for us. We're going to be making those, not these. The little complex baby steps. we're starting off small. And if you would like to learn more about the paper crane, about origami, I can give you further information, some sites, some books that you can really run and learn more about. If you go to the next slide, Sheena, please. Thank you. So look at this. Folding an origami crane. 3 simple steps. Fold, fold, that's really it. I'm not joking. That's it. You have to have faith, my dear. Have faith. So, what we're going to do is I've provided each of you with 3 small pieces of paper. Thank you, Gina. And what we're going to do first is we're going to watch me as I make a paper crane. Okay? I will talk out loud about the steps, very, very simple. But at any time if you have any questions, if you don't understand, please stop me, let me know. You don't even have to raise your hand. Shout out. Just like, stop. Repeat that. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to repeat the process, but I'm going to have each of you make a paper crane in your seats. Alright? And if along the way you have issues, ask your partner, in small groups, but I'm here to help. And then I'm going to set you free. Set you free to make your very own paper crane. You can name them, you can color them later. There are so many options. But first and foremost, we're going to start with mine, okay? So I'm going to move my little examples over here. Huey, Dewey, Louie. And start off with a paper crane. So, first of all, you start off with a square piece of paper. Most of our paper is more rectangular, so what you do, you just cut off about 1/3 and you get left with a square. It could be a really big sheet, a really small sheet like this. Doesn't really matter the size, it just has to be large enough so you can actually make the proper folds. Okay, so you start off with a single square piece of paper. And what you do is you fold it in half like this. So don't do it right now, just watch me as I'm doing this and I demonstrate. And I will give you ample opportunity in the future to do this. Then what you do is you place it down on the table and you just crease it. So you see this? Like this, kind of like a football. And what you do is you open it back up and you see there's this crease down the middle. What you do is you lay it on your desk like a diamond and you take this corner, the right corner, and you fold it over until it matches that middle line. And then you crease it. And then what you do is you do the same with the left side. You take the left side down, oh, there you go. And then you crease it. So it should look like this, right? So it should look like this. Very, very simple. So this will be the bill, and this are the folded, these are the folded feathers. What you do is you place it down on your desk. You secure it about this side, and then you fold the bill up. Fold it up, and you crease it at the bottom. So it looks like this, okay? And what you do is you make the beak. By folding it down, you see you have a beak now, you have a mouth, which would be the young ones. This is the trickiest part right here, is you fold it back like this, and you squinch the bottom, and you slightly pull out. And it's easier doing it on the table, so you have a firm surface to work with. You push it down, you squeeze it together. And sometimes it looks great, and other times you rebel again. And it might not look great. But this is roughly your favorite crane. This is number 4. And we're a little family, so only 996 more to go. And it stands here on the table and it looks beautiful. Any questions? Any concerns? Do you think you can do this? Because I know you can.
Yes.
Alright, so we'll do this one more time. I'm going to say up here, do a guided practice, and just follow steps with me, okay? And if at any time you have any questions, any concerns, Sheen, are you with me? Good. Just let me know. Alright? So you take your square piece of paper, right? You put it on your desk, so if you have some room on your desk, make sure you have a flat surface to work on. You take your paper and fold it in half like a diamond. That talk is brilliant. I didn't know how long it's been. So, All right, so everyone did that, yes? Okay, so what you do now is you unfold it again, you have that crease down the middle. You crease the right side. And then you crease the left side. And you want the sides to match. All right, everyone with me? You're about at this side. Wonderful. And let's just wait for everyone to catch up. Sound of paper folding, just music to my ears. Alright, so we have about this, and then you take about 3/4 of the way up, and you're going to fold it up to form the neck, and then you're going to crease it at the bottom. So it goes like this. Perfect. Gotcha? Right on. Wait. This is a team effort. This is our little flock, our family. This is origami. It's not an individual thing. It is a family matter. Our family that folds together stays together. That is the catchphrase of the day. Got it? Okay, we're all there. Right, and then you're going to just fold the tip. You can have a really big beak, a small beak, it's your preference. You just fold it. Have a little nap. So you can see if you wanted it there. You can draw little eyes. But sometimes the Japanese are more about simplicity. There's no need to be gaudy or add lots of color. It's about the simple. Then what you do is you place your paper crane down on the table like this. And you fold it. And if you do it right, it should stand up. And don't be afraid, you're not going to ruin the paper unless you actually do. But and it should stand up like this. And there's your paper crane.
Can I add mine to your block?
Sure, please come. See? How beautiful.
Very
Thank you. Look at this. Look at this. This is a family matter. This is a classroom effort right here.
Do you accept handicapped swans?
We do. I am taking a special education class right now. We will create an IEP for that swan. Like no one's business.
I think
Look at that. Beautiful. Excellent. Look at this. Cranes come in all shapes and colors, people. All shapes and colors. Oh, look at that. Look. Gorgeous.
Handicapped.
Beautiful. You're handicapped. Perfect. So, any questions? Look at this. This is beautiful. I'm going to take a picture of this once we're all done. Because I'm going to ask each of you to make one more print. Alright? You should have 2 more pieces of paper left. I have another piece of paper if you need one, Heather. This is for you to do it by yourself. To follow, to see if you can do it all by yourself without any direction from me up here. So I'm just going to walk around. If you have any issues or questions, just let me know, all right? I'm here to help. And don't feel free to talk to your neighbor as I slightly move the camera over as I check the time. We will move over so I can prove I go amongst my people. Look at those folds, the precision. Wonderful. Excellent. And if you would like, you can set them on the front desk. And we can take a picture together before we end the lesson to include to our family of paper cranes. Because as I said before, this isn't just an individual matter. I just had to move the camera to get them through their activity. This is a collective matter. This is a classroom effort, and I'm very happy with the way all of you. Gino, are you having any issues?
No.
I like that. Perfect. Great. you have one more piece of paper?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do you not have one?
No, I made them both.
You made them both. Look at that.
I got excited.
You got excited. You took the initiative. That's wonderful. So what I'm going to have each of you do, one more, Timo? Thank you. And you have one more. Excellent. And I will keep this over here for me. And what I'm going to ask each of you to do, not as necessarily a homework assignment, but something you do from the heart. Because I can tell, look at our family here. Definitely take a picture before we end this. You can go home now and show your roommates, show your friends. And remember, any piece of square paper has the potential to be a paper crane. Going back to our model over here, it's really as simple as this. You hold, you fold, and ta-da. You have a family. Right there. So let's look again at our objectives. So we have made our paper cranes, right?
Yes.
We understand a little bit about the cultural significance, right? About the story of Dr. Sasaki. We know about the legend of 1,000 paper cranes. Look, you each made 2 or 3 paper cranes. Really, 997 to go. And then you get your wish. And even if you don't, make another 1,000 paper cranes. It's not necessarily about the wish, it is about the art going forth and doing it. Alright? So I want to move on to our last one. Our connection with BYU Hawaii. Alright? So China, you were saying that you were actually here. You're as old as me. So tell me about this picture, if you will.
If I recall correctly, this was in 2010.
11.
Right, 11. Right after the earthquake
Yes, in Japan.
in Japan. And this was for students to just pay, I guess, condolences
Condolences.
for the event to show support for the Japanese people.
So as you can see here, let me shut off the light briefly or not. You can tell what this is, right? This is a picture of a Japanese flag, right?
Yeah.
But if you look closely, and if you would want after we take our family group picture, is they're all made of paper cranes. So one of my professors, Dr. Tabitha Kaili, he's an anthropologist. After the Japanese tsunami in March 2011, the church and BYU Hawaii sent humanitarian aid, sent funds, and people to help. But as a symbolic and cultural gesture, Dr. Kaili, as the anthropologist he is, mobilized some of his anthropology students. And really, if you remember, as Jinam said, it was kind of really a campus-wide thing, where we all, at different times, went to the Aloha Center and we made paper cranes. We made white and red paper cranes, and we formed them into the Japanese flag. We hung it in the Aloha Center for, how long was it up there for? For several months. It was there for a long time. And it was there to say, we support Japan. Not necessarily its government, not necessarily its policies, but we support its people. And this was a terrible natural disaster, and we're here for you. We will help you with our money, we will help you with our funds, with our people, but we'll also help you and respect your culture. This is about cultural awareness and cultural respect. So I hope that as you go home, you take your pieces of paper home. You also take your paper cranes home because they're yours. Please, remember this. Remember the story. Remember the power of these symbols. And these aren't just paper. Look at a piece of paper and see its potential. Maybe you'll write an essay on it and you'll get an A from Dr. Shute. Maybe you'll fold it, Maybe you'll fold it into a paper crane. Maybe you'll make it into confetti and throw it on someone for their birthday. A piece of paper is an amazing, amazing tool. Any questions? No? Then I do want to take a picture. Come around, come around. As you bells. We'll take a picture around our paper crane, and we're going to record it for our classroom time, right? Alright, get down. No, surround paper cranes. Alright, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3.
I love
1, 2, 3. Perfect. So wonderful. As you go to DC, grab a couple paper cranes, take them home.
it.
Hmm.